0 of 7 credit, WWE.com. The promotion for WWE Backlash 2020 centered around the idea that Edge vs. Randy Orton could be the greatest wrestling match ever, a bold idea that cast doubts on the entire event. Surely, that couldn't be a thing, could it? Either the hype would be too great and it would fall short of expectations, or it would be so ludicrous an idea that fans would anticipate failure. Now that the event has finished, how did it turn out? Was this a legendary pay-per-view that will go down in history with nothing but positives, or was there more bad that outweighed the good? Which standout segments were the biggest pros and cons of the night? It's time to break down and recap the full results as well as the highlights and low points of WWE Backlash 2020.1 of 7 credit, WWE.comWWE Backlash 2020 results. Apollo Crews defeated Andrade by pinfall to retain the United States Championship. Triple threat match, Bayley and Sasha Banks defeated Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross and the IIconics by pinfall to retain the Women's Tag Team Championship. Sheamus defeated Jeff Hardy by pinfall. Asuka and Nia Jax fought to a draw by a double count out. Handicap match, Braun Strowman defeated the Miz and John Morrison by pinfall to retain the Universal Championship. Drew McIntyre defeated Bobby Lashley by pinfall to retain the WWE Championship. The Street Profits and the Viking Raiders had a backstage brawl instead of a match. Randy Orton defeated Edge by pinfall. 2 of 7 credit, WWE.comNaturally. Not everything on this show was either extreme of a highlight or a low point. In fact, most segments fall directly in the middle of the road as not bad, nor great. Apollo Crews vs. Andrade for the United States title kicked off the show with a decent match, but it was nothing special, nor new. These two have had a handful of matches on Raw with almost exactly the same formula. TV matches generally have interference finishes, so seeing Kevin Owens and Angel Garza get involved for a distraction that Crews capitalized on wasn't interesting, nor was seeing the champion retain against the guy he just beat for the title. Similarly, the triple threat for the Women's Tag Team Championships was fine, but nobody will remember it by next week. Now that the champions retained and have taken out the only two other teams on the main roster, what's next? Sadly, no new elements to the storyline of Sasha Banks and Bayley breaking up were introduced, which means this was just a means to officially push the IIconics and Bliss cross Applesauce aside. Braun Strowman also had a straightforward handicap match against the Miz and John Morrison. In typical fashion, the heels let their egos get in the way of any potential pins until the monster among men took them out. These matches could have easily been on Raw or SmackDown, rather than a pay-per-view, and they still wouldn't have felt special even though they were perfectly fine. 3 of 7 credit, WWE.